Hello and welcome back to Morgan's, well, for November, not so lazy Sunday afternoon write-in. Today I have Hayley with me. Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
Say hi.
Always happy to.
Are you doing NaNoWriMo?
I am. I actually hit, where am I at? I hit 26,000 words last night. So, and I think NaNoWriMo was telling me that I have to write like 1,000 more words today to meet my goal. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Are you up for 50,000 or 75 or
50,000? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice, awesome. I am keeping pace. I think I just hit one day ahead with 25,000 and a little change. So kind of excited, I'm a day ahead of schedule. Now, the plot pacing doesn't look anything like what I expected, but I kind of hated my outline. Not like at the high level, but at the low level, I'm like, it's not working for me. So it's working. So I'm going to say hello to people in the audience. Hello, MM Ward and Spence and Doc and Andy and Jeannie. Yay. So glad. I know that there's a lot of write-ins and there's y'all writes and conferences all over the place. So I really appreciate everyone who came, but I do try to be consistent. And schedule my life around this.
Morgan's like, this is my time.
Well, I mean, I don't like moving my time. It's just that's how I ended up being a blogger. Once I pick a time, I don't usually switch it up any. So yeah.
I feel that though.
Right. And I picked this time because it was a time that I figured I could do consistently. So, and it gives me some accountability, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, tell me about your NaNoWriMo story. I'd love to hear a little.
Ooh, okay. So, it's Project Word Lesbians. Ooh, what?
I was going to say 2 seconds. While she's talking, everybody else, let us know what you're working on right now, nano or not. So go ahead.
Yeah, definitely. So mine is Project Sword Lesbians. It's a YA novel, YA fantasy. So like maybe 50,000 is a little short, but I feel like, that's all I can do this November. So, and it's about this girl who fails to save the world and then she has to find her memory.
Is her memory a person or just an actual memory?
So it's like her actual memory.
Oh, cool. That's super fun.
Yeah. What's yours?
I am doing fantasy in space because I love sci-fi and fantasy, but I always write fantasy. So I was like, let me stretch myself. And but it's a fairy tale in space, basically, with sentient space octopuses. But I'm going off of some fairy tales that are near and dear to my heart. So I know the shape of what it should look like. And fairy tales are very lyrical, which is not my native writing feel. So it's definitely been a stretch, but I think sometimes you should stretch yourself. And I think this story deserves it. So it depends how well it's flowing, whether or not it's lyrical or if I just pop out of that or not. So
yeah,
it happens.
I feel like I'm stretching myself too, like, because it's YA urban fantasy, and I've only done like historical fantasy, so yeah, but I'm really having fun with the voice, like sneaking in a lot of modern references, having fun. So
I have dodged urban fantasy. That's like 90% of what I read these days is urban fantasy and paranormal romance and whatever. But when I write, I've done second world fantasy. I've done a gender bent Robin Hood. I've done contemporary, but it was middle grade. So it was a school play story. So I avoided the nitty gritty realities of life. at least once you get past, elementary school. So with the middle grade, the struggles are standardized testing and friends, making new friends and feeling replaced and that sort of thing. Much narrower scope. But it's still a fantasy because in my contemporary, it's what you read changes the world around you for as long as you're excited about that book and when you move on to the next book. And it's whichever character you really connect with influences you the most. So if you really like the cat character, you might start to get a little more feline around the edges of your face and stuff like that. But
that sounds really cool.
Right. And it can change, your flowers out front can change color or have like emeralds in them one week. But if you sell them about 2 days later, unless they're reading the same book you are, they're going to revert back to whatever they're supposed to be. So that was, it was super fun. I did it like 2 years ago for Nano. Middle grade is good for 50,000. 75,000 is about when my stories are normally done. But I'll do 50,000 this month and then any more that I need after recovering and remembering, what my family looks like and what the laundry looks like and all those things that fall on the wayside during November. 50,000 is not my natural pace. I think 30,000 is closer to what I can do comfortably in a month without really pushing things aside. But normally I just spend the rest of my life editing. So let's pop over to the comments. Jenny is bouncing between us and Books by Adrian stream. Doc is in a bind because he's way behind. He's looking for solo to find. Spence is so behind because they haven't even started yet. But you've done how much baking? I mean, were you planning on doing it? Is it behind if you didn't intend to do it? No. Andy is not doing Nano, is working on a short story for an open submission for an anthology. That's awesome. I want to do more of those. I really do. I just have trouble playing in other people's worlds. Maybe that's my issue with a more contemporary urban fantasy is I feel like it has to be closer to the real world. And somebody else made this world. I don't like it as much as mine.
Yeah.
Doc is working on The Rage of Ragnarok, Adventures of Crackle and Bang, Book 3. The crew encounters Viking sky pirates over Southeast Asia while en route to Australia. Wow. That sounds super fun. I think if I remember correctly, Doc just finished drafting Book 2, in which takes place in India. And it's a steampunk adventure romp thing. The first book is not Venice. Prague. Prague is in Prague. So CB is here. Hello and welcome. And Chandra, Spence is cleaning their kitchen, taking bets on whether or not the mini Spence falls asleep on the couch. I mean, who doesn't want to? And Andy says that all the anthologies he finds are theme-based. You get a lot more room to play. That's awesome. I definitely need to check that out. I just get caught up in trying to finish NaNoWriMo projects and turn them into something other than that draft sitting in my Google Docs folder forever.
Yeah. I'm so sorry that I keep yawning, by the way. It's not you. It's not the stream.
It's Sunday afternoon. It's normally the lazy Sunday afternoon stream. Yawns are welcome and encouraged here. Spence, still halfway through the month, decides to join in and beat NaNoWriMo. More power to you. I've done more than 3K 5 days ever in my life. So if I fall behind, I am doomed. I stay up past my bedtime until I get my words in for the day, even if it's exactly 1667 words, and then I peace out. Hello, Lee. Lee, I think, is not doing Nano, but working on second novel of Omega Fair. which is a sci-fi. That sounds super fun and definitely up my reading alley. CV finished Nano because, of course, she did on Friday night and is just redrafting and restructuring her plan.
Wow.
Chandra highly recommends an anthology called Like a Charm because it still blows her mind. Awesome. That sounds super fun. Well, we are in the middle of Nano. Sorry, I hit my desk. I jumped. I think that maybe we should do a couple writing sprints. What do y'all think? Sprinting during NaNoWriMo?
Nah, never heard of it.
Okay, just let me find my timer, and I think we're good to go.
Good.
Where's
my? Where are we gonna start off?
There we go. When I'm editing, I do 20-minute sprints, but when I'm writing, I think 15-minute sprints because sometimes my mind starts to wander about then. Does that work for you, or would you prefer 20?
No, yeah, 15 minutes works. I actually just remembered that I need to catch up on my book club book. So that's what I'm going to be doing.
Definitely. Okay. Well then, let's go ahead and let me screen share, and remember to share audio and find the application. And there we go. So are you ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1, write. And we're back.
Yay!
I finally got myself some lunch or early dinner. I don't even know. I figured I should probably eat something before I did anything else. So I did that. And 0 words. 0 words on Sprint.
I got let me see. Here we go. Okay, I got 198 words. So pretty good. But then, I got distracted by this really cute dog video on Twitter. That was this dog who got a treat, and then when his owner walked away, he went to the drawer and he finished that treat, and then he went to the drawer and took out another treat, and then he put it back on the table so that when the owner came back, they would think that the dog would have a treat.
For his owner? Not for himself?
No, for himself.
Oh, okay.
For himself, but like tricking the owner into thinking that he hadn't gotten a treat yet, but he had 2.
Oh my God, that's so cute. I watched a fast forward video of a woman cleaning her house because that's the type of person I am. So today is Sunday, right? And Thanksgiving is in almost 2 weeks, week and a half.
Yeah.
Well, today kicks off the start of my 100% quarantining. I filled up on gas and topped off my groceries today, and I'm going nowhere, seeing no one, doing nothing until I drive down to see my mom, because she hasn't seen anyone since the
Mm-hmm.
Like, she saw her brother and sister outside, and if I'm going down to my mom's, it's like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive. I'm going to want to stay the night, and she's not going to want to let me in the house if I haven't. So she's still doing curbside. She's, in the at-risk category. And so she's just really, really careful. And I totally respect that. So bringing this back around, I get to meet my puppy brother.
Oh.
Got him like the 2nd, 3rd week of quarantine. And his name is Charlie. And he's a French bulldog. And he was like 4 or 5 weeks old when she got him. So he just got snipped and recovered from that and everything. So super excited to meet my puppy brother. Totally worth almost 2 weeks of full quarantine. So super excited.
Oh, that's so good.
Right.
My kitty cats are at my parents' house while I quarantine, but it's looking pretty likely that I'm gonna be here for through the pandemic, which is good because of my own space, but sad because the kitty cats. But my dad is sending me daily pics. Oh my God, I gotta show you guys this one.
Do it. I'm here for the cat photos. I'm here for the cat Zoom bombing,
Yes, right, because
cats are always welcome. Always.
During our last Zoom, I had Donatello, didn't I?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're missing your puppy or your kitty baby.
2 kitties.
Oh,
this is
look at his eyes. Look at his eyes.
I know. And this is Donatello, and he looks very serious.
I mean, being a cat is serious business, so I totally understand. He doesn't look angry. He just looks maybe a little judgy.
Yeah. He's probably trying to persuade whoever is behind the camera to turn on the sink, because that's what he likes, the sink.
Fresh water. He likes running water.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Some cats do. That's why they have the burble fountain things.
Yeah. My cats used to like that, but then Donatello got a taste of the sink and he never went back.
Oh, okay. Let's pop over to the comments. Let's see.
Yes.
Sarah popped on. Steffi popped on.
Hello, Steffi.
He writes, oh, I can't click on comments. It jumped. I think anybody who's been to my stream knows it's not really a Morgan stream unless she's eating something. Although usually not a full-out meal. CV made it up to chapter 25 on the contents page. Nice. Sarah is working on her video because Sunday's her edit day, and this project, which she works on while it's rendering. Steffi reminded me that food is important. Trust me, I ate 99% carbs last week. I think I spent Wednesday being 50% Cheez-It. So, you know.
Are Cheez-Its a carb?
They're cheese crackers.
Yeah, that's true.
So yes, they're carbs. They're just really cheesy. Sarah asked how I was doing today and says it's chilly up her way. I think she's out Chicago-ish. I am East Coast and it is mid-60s. I had on a sweater and I ditched it. It's got that gray overcast, but it didn't actually rain. So yesterday was like almost lower 70s. It was pretty toasty here. But I'm sure we'll get your cold snap in a day or two because that's how it works when you're on the East Coast. Yeah. Where are you, Hayley?
I'm on the East Coast too.
Okay.
But it's been really, really chilly these past couple of days. And I know tonight we're supposed to get like really, really strong winds. Ooh. So the power might go out. So
I live kind of directly behind the hospitals, so I don't lose power very long if I do. Like nice. I definitely have my clocks like blinking, but I don't know that I've been here for 2.5 years and I don't remember losing my power. I remember seeing my clocks blinking, but that's it. And I've been working from home since March, you know, so I mean, knock on wood, I haven't done it during winter or anything, but yeah. So Chandra got 445 words done because Chandra is a word creating like machine. Doc got 183 words of Sir Richard and Miss Bang discussing the likelihood of pirates attacking again. Andy got 309, very respectable. You are your own biggest critic. That like 309, I got 0. I mean, come on, man.
Come on.
Shout out for the cats. Doc says he fed the cats just before he started, so they're leaving him be for now. Once you go sink, you know where to drink. Love it. Katka, hello and welcome. I will be here for another hour and a half. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm from 4:30 till 6:30 Eastern time, daylight standard, whichever we happen to be in. So sometimes I run late if, you know, I'm that close to getting my words in or what have you. So yeah. Thanks for joining us and welcome. The more the merrier. Ward made it to chapter 20 of her edit suite, trying to adjust all the chapter word counts within 200 words of 2.5K. Okay. That's definitely one way to do it. I've also heard that shorter chapters, when you get really high action, can help with pacing. But I mean, I've definitely evened out my chapter counts before. Where do you stand on the chapter count, Hayley?
It depends on the book and it depends on the chapters. So I wouldn't really say that I have any like definitive chapter limits. Although for NaNoWriMo, of course, I think I wrote like all the way up until like the start of the fun and games, and then I put in a chapter break. So you know,
right. Yeah.
Do they matter?
When I write, I usually end up with chapter breaks when I change scenes or settings. But when I edit, sometimes, you know, it's like, and then the thing was about to happen. Chapter break goes here.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But for me, that's it happens during my editing process. Naturally, I just, you know, put a chapter when I start something new.
Yeah. I feel that too. I do that.
Right. So let's see. Katka asked, what is the time? So I guess it would be 1:30, right? Or would it be 30? 0:30. 24-hour clock is not my best. But another 90 minutes from now, I'm sure you can handle that. M Ward says the longest they've lost power was 11 days. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I don't think I ever lost power for more than 3 to 4 days growing up, but I did lose it over Christmas one year because that was fun.
Oh no.
Yeah. We ended up having Christmas brunch across the street at my great aunt's house. She passed away this year, 2 months shy of her 100th birthday. So she put in her time. She'd had some lovely time. And yeah, so we went to her house and then we went to my aunt's house who had power and hung out and got nice and warm and toasty.
Good.
So Andy agrees. It's very true that he is his own worst critic. And they've got a squall line hitting Rockville, Maryland about 6:30. So I'm within their kind of weather area because I'm just south of DC and Maryland is kind of DC-ish. So that might hit me. So we'll see.
Al is I probably won't get it until later.
Right. Yeah.
Because I'm way up north.
Yeah. If I'm in that squall line, it'll probably hit right when the stream ends. So, hello and welcome. I don't know if Al has joined us before, but as I already said, the more the merrier. Sarah has only one more clip to record and then is done with the edit and done for the day. That's a great feeling. I should actually start on some words sometime today. Doc says he also adjusts chapter length in the second draft. So, CV, the most has lost power was for 3 days and intermittent. The time we lost it over the holidays, my stepdad had gone out after we lost power to get kerosene for the kerosene heater. And the power came out back on, and Mom got a shower, and I got a shower, and he came in, slammed the door. As the door closed, the power went out and didn't come back on for 3 days. I mean, clearly they were unrelated. But across the street had power. It was just where the lines were and stuff, you know?
Yeah. We had a really bad summer storm this year, and I know Connecticut was knocked out for like at least 2 weeks. Like our whole state was knocked out for like 2 weeks. So we were only out for like.
Was it like a derecho or something?
Yeah.
I heard that's part of El Nino or the reverse of that. These like heavy windstorms that come through and stuff. I don't know. So it's cyclical. Yeah. CV said they were supposed to go to DC for the first time this year. I'm sorry. Well, if you ever come to DC and get stuck and it's not rush hour, you can hang out at my house if you're supposed to fly out of Dulles because I'm less than half an hour away outside of rush hour. During rush hour, it could be 3 hours, so you might as well stay there. But DC rush hour. MM Ward just finished a hard edit and is cleaning up the copy now. Devin is local for me. So MM Ward asked if CB's headache was doing better, and it is. Yay. Chandra is going to do some yoga, and then we'll be back and hopefully sprint some more. And Doc is varies his chapter length, but keeps them naturally between 2K and 5K, something that will nicely fit in the single episode of a podcast. And CV said, I thought New York rush hour was scary. So the problem is we have very limited public transit in the exurbs of DC. So once you get out of the city proper, you got buses and not that many of them, and most people drive. And there's only one way in and out of Dulles. And it's a decent haul from actually DC. So
wow.
I thought you were in Canada. Why did you say you were? Your initials are DC.
The next one.
You were being silly. I'm slow today. I'm very slow. I'm sorry, Devin. So, okay, let's take a 1-minute stretch break and then get back to the sprint. So don't forget.
How's that for a stretch?
Oh.
Ooh.
See if you can pop your back in 7 spots. Or maybe that's just me.
Is that healthy?
I have hypermobility and my ribs think they're joints, so it's just how I am.
Yeah.
I told my chiropractor I'm not seeing her until after Thanksgiving because I'm on quarantine. So, yeah. Okay. Let's do some words. Let's do another sprint. I mean, This is Nano, and I might actually sprint this time. So let's get ready in 3, 2, 1, boom. I mean, right, not boom. And we're back. I ate ruffled chips with hell of a good dip and remembered where I left off my writing. And that's it. This is not being very productive for me. I need to like work on this.
Still, I just have one last chapter to read for book club today, so I think after I finish this chapter, then I'll write. But all this talk of food is getting me really, really hungry, and I'm sad because I don't have any snacks yet, because my groceries, they're coming at 8 o'clock. So I have to wait for like
basically
3 hours?
An eternity. Because then,
Yeah,
after they get here, you have to put them away, and then you can snack.
oh, yeah, I do.
Especially if there's any fridge or freezer stuff.
Yeah, bursting my bubble, Morgan.
Sorry. So let's see. Everybody else agrees their own public transit stinks. Devin has never been south of Pennsylvania. I was born in Pennsylvania, so that's where I started, at least. Lee says that WTOP issued a severe thunderstorm warning for just north of me until 6 p.m. I heard the wind start to pick up, so it might actually include me in this stripe of weather.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And then
I'm opening my curtain to see if I can see outside, but like it's dark, so
it's dark. So Ward has been in every state west of the Mississippi up to like Michigan and all the Gulf Coast states, and flew into DC for a disastrous wedding and will never go back. And I'm like, wait, you blame DC for the wedding? And she said the wedding was under the cherry blossoms for 1,000, got shoved into a church for 300 as monsoon rains drowned everything, and they were the last flight out because the airport flooded. Well, cherry blossom season is kind of a touristy thing, and I avoid it like the plague. And flooding is not actually something DC is known for. Despite being in a swamp or whatever, it's not usually that floody here. I mean, there's a couple streets and roads, but they're not usually where, people have to go. Wow. And then Ward said, that's what everybody told me, and I grew up in Texas and hadn't seen flooded that bad. I mean, it's not unheard of. It's just not normal. And CV said with the groceries, now you have to wipe everything down. I confess, I don't actually wipe everything down. They say that the surfaces aren't the big deal. It's the breathing other people's air. That's the huge thing. Plus, I'm restocking. I'm probably not going to touch the 90% of the stuff again for like 2 weeks, in which case the virus will be dead. So Steffi tried and is still trying to figure out how to work Plotter the best. I've never used Plotter. It's I assume it's something similar to like beat sheets.
Yeah, Steffi's been using it. I think you've been saying that it's pretty good, Steffi. It's like Campfire, I think. It's like for plotting. I mean,
yeah. I'm a plantser. Mm-hmm. And I already am ignoring 80% of my plotting. So I might not be the target audience here. So Doc got 215 words this time, and now the conversation has turned to finding a place for the ship to repair and refuel. Oh no! Andy's cat was angry she wasn't getting fed and shut down the power strip in retaliation. Oh. I'm hearing that you do not have a laptop, that you have a PC that perhaps does not have a battery. Well, welcome back. CV says, yes, we are built on a swamp, and yes, there are some areas that do get water, but that's not where most of the things were built, because we had some decent planners. So CB said, I'm care package. My workers work with people who are a lot more vulnerable than me. So I write down everything that comes into this house. Definitely, definitely. I am aware of where I'm grocery shopping and the conditions that the workers are dealing with. So luckily, people seem halfway decent at following the arrows and reasonable at giving people space and wearing their masks and everything like that. So
well, this is my first time like getting groceries delivered, so we'll
right.
see.
I did it once and there were like some substitutions and it wasn't quite all what, and grocery shopping is like the one outing I still let myself do, you know?
Yeah, so. That's good. I can't go indoors anywhere.
I get that. So I have hit the local farmers market, which is totally outside, but I have been to the grocery store 5 times since the pandemic started. It's not something I do a lot. My groceries last between 6 weeks and 10 weeks. But this was a small trip just to top off after in preparation for full quarantining until Thanksgiving so I can see my mom.
Yeah, so, totally.
Andy got 250 words despite the cat.
Nice.
Lee said she just got the plotter thing, so I still doing it. And doesn't know enough to form a well-rounded opinion, but so far it's fairly lightweight and intuitive, but still figuring things out. So
that's good.
Ward says, my whole family has it and isolated until Thanksgiving. Hubby is asymptomatic, as are several of his coworkers, but all the families are sick with all the symptoms. Oh my goodness. I am hoping for the best for all of them, that they have very mild cases, that they recover with no long-term side effects or anything like that. I had a friend not hospitalized who had it back in April who is having problems with his heart now. Like, he went in for a stress test and they're like, your heart rate's not getting low enough for us to put you on the stress test thing. Like, wow. So even if you're not hospitalized, you can end up with some weird side effects.
Yeah, definitely.
So be careful. It's not something to be like, oh, it's like the flu, whatever.
Yeah. Wear your masks, everybody. Stay distanced.
I've got like
everything.
15 masks.
Yeah.
And I need some holiday ones.
Well, I just ordered these really cool Black Lives Matter masks from author Lily Mead.
Oh, nice.
Who's making them and selling them, and it supports her and her family. So it's really, really good. And she has lots and lots of really, really cute, like, Christmas patterns.
Ooh, pop the link in. I want to.
You know what? I will. But we should like totally do a sprint soon.
Yeah.
So
okay. Let's skim through the comments really quick. CB ordered a Batman mask. CB is very sorry to hear about MM Ward's family. MM Ward says that the feline overlords are demanding, I believe, Andy's attention. Doc had to go to Instacart for grocery deliveries, and you get to talk to the shoppers while they shop and talk them out of bad substitutes. Like, the 3 times in a row, my mom got instant rice instead of regular rice. Steffi says, but yes, basically Plotter is an app that allows the same sort of flashcards as Scrivener and lets you move them around, including blank spaces. This makes things easy to see at a glance. I might as well just use Trello, which I use for my keeping track of all my writing projects anyway. It's like a to-do list and it's got columns and things and stuff. So I could totally, and they're in like note card space and you can like drag them around and stuff. So it's a tool I already use for something entirely else. But MM Ward says, I have to talk to shoppers and have no substitutions because of food additive allergies. And CB says that David Bryan, the keyboardist from Bon Jovi, had it earlier this year and is still recovering. And CB does online grocery shopping every week. So, yeah.
It's like pretty expensive for me because Stop and Shop, because Instacart doesn't deliver out here, but Stop and Shop requires a minimum of like $60, which, like, you know, still trying to find a job. Yikes, you know, so here's the custom masks link. I'm popping it in the private chat, Morgan, so. Because I can't post links.
You don't have the YouTube open? Okay, that's fine. I'll copy it over.
Oh, no, I mean, I don't think it'll let me post links anyways.
I'm pretty sure I don't have that restriction turned on. I think that's an option. Maybe not. I don't know. But I can post it. So I'm going to be checking that out after actually getting words in. I'm getting words in this time. I promise I'm going to get at least 150 words this sprint. You heard it now. Let's see if it happens. So let's do this in 3, 2, actually write, Morgan. Go.
Yes.
And we're back. I wrote words, not 100, but words.
Yay! Yay! I wrote words too.
I wrote like 80 words. That's close to 100. So I didn't know how to transition the scene, and I kept thinking about it, and then I just jumped to the next scene.
Good. I wrote 157 words.
Nice.
I also got distracted by Twitter. Like, not to like bring up more like real world stuff, but like just the numbers about like unemployment and like, you know, the CARES Act here in the USA, and it's just
hiring, and it's awesome.
If anyone needs a social media coordinator or like an administrative assistant, can you shameless plug to hire me?
I will keep my ears out, definitely. Doc said a friend of his had COVID for like 4 months, and then their job let them go, which is horrible.
Is that legal?
I mean, it sounded like their clearance hadn't come through, and there was other things happening, and maybe the company had lost the contract, which sometimes does happen. If they're getting a clearance, it's a government contract, and that, you know, every time they shut down the government, you know, small businesses go out of business because nobody's eating at the lunch places, nobody's getting their dry cleaning done. It affects, and it takes the government 2 months to make up for every 2 weeks they're closed. So you waste taxpayers' dollars by shutting down. You don't save money. You just, I have a friend who works for Social Security Disability, and you just doubled the backlog when you shut down the government. So people not from the DC area think every week we shut down is money taxpayers aren't spending on the government, but no, it just makes costs go up and timelines slip. So
that tracks. Do you mean like when there's a government shutdown, or do you mean when like they shut down the country due to COVID?
When there's a government shutdown in general.
Right. Yeah, because see, now it's confusing because 2020.
2020. Yeah. So apparently there are palm bears, which are chips shaped like bears that I need to Google.
What?
Right? I've never heard of these. These clearly are not regional to me.
You have to screen share that one. I want to see what these look like. Okay.
I mean, they look like cookies. They don't look like
Aren't chips cookies in some world?
Are you
that biscuits?
I thought it was biscuits, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm looking. Sorry. 2 seconds. I have to stop that screen and find a new screen in order to share. So Chrome tab, palm bears. So they look like cookies.
Yeah, they look like Teddy Grahams.
Right? But they do say they're a potato snack. So I guess they're not sweet. I don't know. They look so weird.
Wow, $11. Ooh, Amazon.
Because you gotta ship them. It's a 6-pack, but still. I don't know. It's weird.
This is kind of unrelated, but I just thought of a really good Christmas present for my mom that involves snacks. So I'm gonna write that down. But wow, these are really different.
Oh, here's like a 14-pack for $12. So it may have just been who I clicked first. So weird. Okay. Thank you for teaching us something new.
Yeah.
So, okay. MM Ward shared a creepy line from what they're writing. She tried to describe it. It has 6 legs like an aphid, but a body shaped more like a mouse, and a tarantula had a baby. It has ball joints and feels like 3 pelvis structures instead of ribs. The acrida's foot had 2 forward-facing toes and 2 toes facing back. The end of its tail was prehensile too. The fur was a mix of stiff, longer hairs like quills and short, fluffy fur. And Ward believes that their alien vermin is the stuff of most people's nightmares. So Steffi gave a shout out to Palm Bears. Ward said the creepy thing is the cross between a spider and a mouse. CB is doing research in a totally different direction here on how to build up sexual tension between Tony and Pepper before they start dating. Those of you who are new, CB does Tony Stark and Pepper Potts fanfic. So lots of fun stuff. Hello, Kat, and welcome. No words yet, but we'll probably get an email on the job offer sprouts. Yay, good luck. Fingers crossed.
Good luck.
Right? Let's see. Ward says that Tony has such poor social skills, he could be fitted for a new suit and stripped to his underwear in front of hers. Tony in his tidy whities. Basically a male Blanche Devereaux. Andy actually got some words done, so let's pop over to the word count. 363, respect. Doc got 244 about the dangers of airship sailing. CB got 57 words. You know something? I wish I was your mirror so that I could look at you every day, he said, and I giggled. Well, you see me every day, considering we live in the same house. Doc said it wasn't a security clearance, it was a medical clearance. Oh, that they were good enough to be around other people. Lots of good luck for Kat. Okay, weird. Hello, and welcome. Steffi and CB have reassured us they are salty snacks. They are not cookies or animal crackers. They are potato chips. Weird. So weird. Ward said they got them in the British airline terminal. And hello, Kelly, and welcome. If you're into anime, check out the Spider Woman in Wicked City. So maybe it's a mousy sort of creepy alien-looking Spider Woman thing. Who knows? So, how was your sprint? Did you already do that? Probably.
What?
How was your sprint?
Oh, did I? Or did we just jump into like chips?
I think we jumped into chips, so go ahead and share.
Okay. Well, I got, let me see what I got. Oh, wait a second. I'm like, where is it? Shoot, I don't remember where I stopped.
Yeah.
Okay, I got 290.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. They're like chasing this monster down the street, but it's like leading them to, a place that they need to go to. So, yeah, okay. I'm like juggling a huge cast of characters, and it's pretty hard, but.
So I decided, because all of my characters are from a starship, and it's a family ship, that I needed at least 5 family members who are crew members, and then they all have kids. Here's the family chart. Whoop.
No.
So that's how many characters I'm juggling.
Ooh, okay,
and that's only in the family alone.
Wow.
So I'm crazy. I probably shouldn't have done so many people, but I was like, how many people do you need to crew a ship? and run it as a business. So you got your pilot, you've got your navigator, you've got a couple of engineers, you've got a cook, you've got your accountant, you've got,
That's why you combine some roles. And that's why Lost in Space killed everybody off except for the 5 family members.
Yeah, but it's not a family has left in a ship. It's the family has lived on this ship for generations, and so and it's a cultural thing where, like, they usually marry other ship dwelling people instead of planet side people and things like that. So it got a little. So let's see.
Well, I'm having trouble juggling like the main trio, and then there's like other yeah.
Are they all point of view characters? Because I only have one.
No, they're not. I only have one too.
So still, Kat is following my example and having the first meal of their day. Food is so important. It really is. Steffi says, I only got a few characters and I'm overwhelmed. Kelly suggested Starfleet for what officers I need and things like that. And with the slow burn, Tony and Pepper, they live in the same house because it makes her job easier, which is kind of true, except, the whole part where she ends up seeing everybody he brings home. And I'm not sure how that makes anyone's job easier.
Mm-hmm. Is she like his personal assistant? Because then, falling in love with your boss. I mean, I know.
Watched okay.
I know.
Okay.
I do. It's just been a while. And honestly, my only context has just been CB talking about his Tony and Pepper.
Right.
Like, I think the only time that I've seen, like, the first Iron Man, or at least, like, all the first Iron Mans was when they came out in, like, 2008. So.
Gotcha.
I've not gone back and watched them since, because
that was a little while
ago. Yeah, and I don't know if I should like admit this on stream, because I hate Tony Stark.
He's a jerk. I would never be in a relationship with him. I would not want to deal with him in person, but on screen I can appreciate. I'm not the one who has to deal with that bull.
That's true. That's so true. I just don't like his character.
Yeah.
But like, props to you, CB. Like, nothing against you, CB, at all. Personal preference.
We got Lizzie. Hello, Lizzie, and welcome. It's hair day and is not having fun with these oils everywhere. Why can't she have normal hair? I don't know what your hair is, but having hair or not having hair is normal.
Yes, you have normal hair.
But I'm sorry
normal hair.
That yours is frustrating and a lot of work, apparently, it sounds like. So good luck with hair day, and I hope it goes smoothly. Anyway, so that was a bad joke. Doc says, it sounds like the end of Kindred of Kali, where I've got Crackle and Bang, his lordship's aunts and uncle and brother and Tinka all chatting over breakfast. And then you got to remember who hasn't talked in a while. Yeah, I just noped out of a family dinner. I mean, it started off so well. She's like, I'm going for this apprenticeship, and her little cousin, or her cousin who's a couple years younger, is like, yeah, I want to feed the space manta rays. And the little 2-year-old goes, manta rays! And Mama's like, no. And then I got nothing. So moving on to the next scene when she hears back on the apprenticeship. So Steffi's like, I thought CB's story was set after Tony's wild phase. CB said, kind of. She started off as his PA in Iron Man 1, and when he gets sick with palladium poisoning, she becomes CEO.
But like, if she's the CEO, and this isn't like a question for you, CB, it's probably a question for like Marvel. If she's the CEO, then like, where is she in all the recent movies? Like, she barely has one line. Like, give us Pepper Potts and not Tony Stark, like, forget him.
So, CB cannot stand the actor who plays him. Lee says, you think you have problems naming characters. I'm dealing with a school, small, but still I've got students and teachers and staff. This is why I have my patented pick 30 to 40 names and put them on a list that you like for your world and your setting, and then just pick them when you're writing. I mean, obviously you have your main characters in advance, but that way you don't end up with placeholder names, because I have one story with placeholder names and I hate it. It has Alice, Bob, Carol, Dave, Edward, Frank, and they're at war with Canada. It's not good. It's not good. Placeholder names are horrible, and they totally throw me out of the story, and the end. I don't recommend them. So, CB does not like the actor who plays Pepper Potts either. So, oh no! Lizzie just found out she has to cut half the stuff off the Christmas wish list because she's getting a new phone. Oh, well, okay. That's not so bad. Bye-bye iPhone 6 and hello XR, which apparently means something to people who are not Android people.
No, that's great, Lizzie. I'm like, the only thing that I'm asking for / like probably gonna have to pay at least half is a new laptop, because my laptop,
No.
I mean, I don't know if you've like seen the stories on my Instagram, but like it literally takes a day to upload anything to YouTube, and I think it's on its last legs, which is sad, but
is that a laptop issue or an internet issue?
I think it might be both.
Okay.
But theoretically, with a new hardware and like apparently like a terabyte of storage, I don't know what that means. I just know that it's larger than a gigabyte. Yeah. Then like the laptop will hopefully run smoother. So
1 terabyte is 1,000 gig.
That makes sense. Well, see, I was right. It's bigger than a gigabyte. Yeah. So I guess that's like the 2020 like Mac laptop, which is what I want, because I have unfortunately, sold my soul to Apple.
Right. Okay, well, let's get another sprint in. I think we have enough time. So let's see. Let's do 20 minutes this time. I'm looking. Oh, wait, 15. We only have 15 minutes.
Oh, no.
So
10?
I'll do it, and we'll just run over a little. It's not like I have anywhere to be after this. I'm going to be sprinting some more and actually getting some words in. So
good.
Okay. Let's go ahead and get this party started in 3, 2, 1. Let's write. Boom. That's it. We're at 6:29 p.m. Let's see how many words I got. How was your sprint?
Really productive, actually. You know, I spent
Really?
a couple minutes doing comments at the start, but you know, I'm slowly going off the rails with like plot and stuff. Oh, I forgot I'm filming. Vlog stuff. Yeah, and like going off the rails with some plot stuff.
Solidarity,
like,
yo.
Yeah.
It sucks. I hate it. I hate the feeling of not knowing where I'm going next. Pantser life is not my forte, but the story deserves the best structure for it, even if it's not what you thought it would be.
Except like in my outline, I've written, well, I thought I started this story with like just 3 mirror shards to find, but like for the memory loss. But then when I'm in my outline, like every other chapter is like, oh yeah, they find another mirror shard, and I'm like, no, what was I thinking?
So for magic numbers, you have 3, you have 5, you have 7, and then you have 13.
No, it's not going to be 13. I don't handle that.
Are different ones of them different sizes?
Ooh, I hadn't considered that, but that's a really good idea.
You could be like, I thought it was 3, but this is only a chip of one of them.
Ooh. Ooh, wait. Let me write that down.
I'm sorry. This sounds like a fairy tale, and this is like my jam. Yes. I'm telling you.
Shards
I got 342 words. 342 words. Morgan actually wrote this sprint.
Yay. Congrats.
I mean, I still have 1,200 to go, but I wrote. So the comments, there was a lot of Mac love and a lot of PC slamming, except by me. I mocked the fact it took them 20 years to get around to adding a second button to the mouse. Also, shout outs to Emma Stone instead of Gwyneth Paltrow as Pepper Potts. And I tossed a question to the audience, but nobody answered me. Do I throw a love interest into this story or not? Because he's not going to be part of her happily ever after. So I don't know if it's going to be things just didn't work out, or he was a jerk weasel she had to get rid of. But I don't know. Or maybe she's ace. Don't know. So contemplating that one right now. But because she stepped outside to check her messages, and there were some guys 2 stoops down laughing, and one of them might be cute. So I need to decide if there's a cute guy there or not.
I say make her ace, because yay, representation.
Right? Yeah. But my other thought is maybe she's ace but heteromantic. And so she's good with the romance, but then when they like try to go any further, she's like, this isn't my jam. So
I agree with Lizzie Lakes here. It depends on what's best for the story. Which one would be more entertaining?
I know. I don't know. I usually add romance as subplots in like edits. They don't normally show up in the main story because I'm plot based, and anyway. So
no, yeah, I totally get that. In mine, my main character's girlfriend decided to kiss her suddenly, and that wasn't part of my outline. So
right. All of the romance in my first one showed up because my beta readers are like, are they gonna do it? And I was like, oh, huh. Sure, that actually doesn't not make sense for the character. So in my YA, she's bi, and so she has a casual thing with a guy and then a slow burn with a girl. So,
man, when are you gonna get these pubs that I can read them?
Soon, someday. For various definitions of the word soon. Lizzie says she always needs romance in her books. Heteromantic ace sounds like my jam. So I don't want to be like, oh, I'm shying away from sex. I just, I can see her totally, because she's based on Vasilissa the Brave from Folktale. And so, she goes to Baba Yaga's place and she follows the rules, but there's no love and trust in that one. She just does her thing. And so I think, the vision I have for this character doesn't need a man, and I don't know that that's her thing, but I think, she might think it's sweet and thoughtful when people do nice things for her. And yeah, I could see her being heteroromantic and ace. So
yeah,
that might be where I'm at.
Yeah, I'd say like don't force it.
Oh, I'm not. I'm just still trying to figure out who she is,
Mm-hmm.
So Andy is heading out as always. How about a very good friendship? Not enough of those out there. Definitely. That was one of the things I enjoyed in my middle grade, is making sure that they were strictly besties and there was no romance element about it. And they scoffed when their parents mentioned it, but not in that scoff, but 3 chapters later bull.
Mm-hmm.
Kat says, give her the romance so she develops into a stronger character. Maybe. We'll see. Have a lovely week, Andy, and hopefully you'll be back next week. So Lizzie says, my books have nothing more than romance. Sorry, I don't do that stuff. So
that's really funny.
Definitely an option. Lizzie said that I decided my late Christmas gift to myself is printing out my Christmas second chance romance that she's going to write in December and still needs to make plans for it. Whew, I need December off after NaNoWriMo. Mm-hmm. So more power to you if you can just plop out a romance in December.
Can I quickly reply to CB? I think their latest comments. CB, there's like lots of really great like resources and guides out there. Like what is it? Like has really great ones. The Trevor Project. Yeah. I mean, and I'm also, I think there are videos like by GLAAD and like by the Trevor Project and like lots of really great LGBTQ organizations out there that would probably like give you the the resource and the research that you need. Because totally.
I have some notes from several panels I've attended both on my blog and my vlog if you want to check those out. But, I want to do representation, even if it's not necessarily my story or whatever in this case, because from what I've heard from other writers and people, of different, ace writers want to see themselves represented. They just want to make sure that it's an accurate representation and that it's not only robots or ace characters, because being ace isn't human, and kind of weirdness like that. And so, I mean, clearly I would have a sensitivity reader who is ace, if at all possible. But I know a lot of demi-romantics. So I know, I'm sure I can find somebody who can read it for me. And I've heard that if the story is about how, the gender or the aspect or of them, whatever, is like the focus and like the affects the story, like the plot is centered around some aspect of that, then maybe it's not your story. But including it as part of a well-rounded character is something that most people in, diverse genders and that sort of thing are usually more comfortable with that. So as long as you're not playing into the stereotypes or, kill the gays or anything like that, you should be relatively, I mean, it's much better than, pretending they don't exist, which too many stories do. And we definitely need more variety of people populating our worlds, because that's what the real world looks like. And that's obviously, the people who say that I agree with, and that's how I'm following. obviously, if you feel too distant or you just can't really connect with a character like that, don't write it. If it's not something that comes naturally, don't force it. But definitely make sure that your world is not default to cisgendered white people, you know, hetero relationships, because that's not how the world works. That's not how it's ever worked, you know.
Yeah. So. But I also think that it's important, like, even like if you make like very conscious efforts to like write diversely, you know, and like include like everything in your world as you can, like if, you know, especially if you're white, like you're probably going to miss some stuff, and like you probably will have like microaggressions still in writing, which then I feel like definitely sensitivity readers like back down to them.
Right.
They like, they're really, really useful, and like you need them.
Yeah.
Because like my YA fantasy. Ooh, sorry. I don't want to interrupt.
Oh, I was just going to say, from what I've heard, if you're writing about a group that you're not a part of, there are nuances and things that you might not know about simply because you aren't part of that group. And so by having a sensitivity reader, it can really help you identify any sort of blind spots or stereotypes or prejudices that you don't even know that you have, because they have that perspective. And do realize that all people of, you know, whatever group are not a monolith, and just because one person's like, oh, I have no problem with it, does not mean that others might not find it problematic. So write, but be willing to stand behind what you write.
Yeah. And like not even with just, you know, relationships, but like with every aspect of your story. Like, you know, gender and sexuality don't automatically equate to relationships, and like they shouldn't, you know, in like a lot of areas. So
yeah. So
wow, Morgan's stream of
I did just do a vlog on writing from the margins. So the notes from that, because it was a panel I attended back in August, are pretty fresh in my mind. So Kelly suggested for my character, maybe duty holds her back, which is true. Family is a huge thing for her. Steffi says, laughs in smut author. Yeah, I'm not mentioning my current work in progress. Doc likes to edit in December. Lizzie suggests also look some stuff up on YouTube. Emma Ward is hoping to self-publish 1 or 2 books in December, because both start close to Chris. Excuse me.
Luck.
I had too much French onion dip.
Good luck.
Right. CV is like, I was thankfully raised to be open-minded. And then Ward has a writer friend who is a demi-romantic ace and wrote a really good story called Mask of Celibacy on, I think, WordPress, WP, about an ace who pretended to be following the church rules to hide what she was.
Or Wattpad?
Oh, Wattpad, probably, yeah. And she had a crush, but the idea of sex wasn't her thing. CV says, it's kind of difficult because I don't have experience of relationships. I'm looking into courtship when I turn 40. I hope that goes really well for you. Lizzie says, I write white characters because everyone where I live is Hispanic, so being white is diversity to me. I totally get that. Kat is gonna go off and write words, which is my next thing. Right. And Emma Ward said that generational biases are also a big thing, which is true, unfortunately. Every generation goes a little further than the generation before, and we all build off of new starting points for getting past prejudices. So,
Morgan, you were putting this so much more eloquently than like I could ever.
I do try to attend diversity panels and talking about disability and talking about gender and ACE and all sorts of things like that every time I hit a convention. And so I try to listen, and that's all I can do is listen and put that representation in my work. So, right? Doc on the shoulders of giants. Evan Ward says that they have African-American friends who have no problem with the word mulatto because that's what they are, but she hates the N-word, and her grandkids use it all the time and it drives her crazy. And that's definitely a generational thing. I wouldn't expect to see mulatto in something unless it was like Nolans in like 1600s or 1800s or whatever. You know, it's not a word used these days. So context matters. Context matters a lot. So, but yeah, generally racial biases are a big thing with all types of prejudices. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah. So yeah. All we can do is try to do better than the generation before us and be more inclusive.
Mm-hmm. Well, I unfortunately have to run off to my book club.
Fine. Yep, we are 15 minutes over anyway. I'm gonna go ahead and sign off and then try and get in these other 1,200 words.
Yay, good luck. So, good luck.
So yeah, have a lovely week. I'll be back again, same bat time, same bat channel, and hopefully a little more productive next week because I'll be in the middle of isolation. So I might be like, head down and focus. So thank you all for coming out and have a great week. Bye-bye.
Yes, thanks everybody.